Hello and welcome to Everyone Has a Podcast. I'm your host, Blitz Ace, and this is my co-host, Jenko.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. It's good to be on day release. Yeah.
On day release from where?
I don't know. It was a joke and it was silly, wasn't it?
I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, do we get like day release? Is there such a thing as day release?
I
Really?
don't know. I've never been to prison. I'm not sure I'd survive. Don't look at me. I'm not strong enough. I'm
Eh.
a bit posh and pretty. They'd pass me around like a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I've always thought of day release as a very American thing, and it's like they're accompanied by somebody else. I don't really know how it works for it, and never really want to know, to be honest.
Very professional having your phone go off like in the opening minutes.
Well, I haven't muted it, but I should probably like mute it like properly. So I'll put it on do not disturb. I mean, it's only Dan.
It's
It's
only
fine.
it's only the group chat that we're in because I had the exact same message. He's telling me it's about World of Warcraft.
Oh, is that what
And
it's
he's
about?
telling me to save the date. Oh, it's BlizzCon. Oh, is it
Oh,
BlizzCon? See, I used to go to BlizzCon. I used to go to BlizzCon. I used to go to his house to watch BlizzCon. It was kind of our thing for a few years running, and then they stopped doing
ah.
it. I think because of the pandemic. But yeah, it was good fun. It was good fun. Even though I'm not a huge World of Warcraft fan.
I mean, is that all that Blizz do really now?
No, because they do stuff for like Diablo, and I was there. We watched it, the Diablo game on the mobile, and it was absolutely devastating. Is this an out of season April Fool's joke? And you could see the guy just fall apart inside. Just like, oh, like cutting words, man. The man was devastated. So there was that. There was Overwatch stuff. There was always the cinematic for the World of Warcraft, and just whatever else they were doing at the time. Um,
I like World of
Big
Warcraft.
news. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite MMO that I ever played, but
Nope.
no. But it's okay. I can see how people would invest their lives into it. I can definitely see that.
Mm, it is.
Um,
It's definitely the one of the largest MMOs that
yeah.
there's ever
It's not
been.
the longest. It's not the longest running one though. It's
No,
not the
we
longest
we
one.
had this conversation.
It's
I,
Fairtopia for the
yes,
furries.
which is a whole.
Gross.
That's a whole other thing. That is.
If you're a
Um,
furry and you're listening to this, stop.
stop listening or stop
Stop
being a
listening.
furry.
Stop. I mean, both, ideally. Ideally, both. Man,
And for the
there's
people
going to
that
be one.
decide to look up what furry is, just don't.
Just don't. There's like, what? I think I looked the other day. There's like, I think the most people listened to was like 40 times. Yeah, like guaranteed, like one person be like, "I'm a furry," and I'm listening to this. Oh, don't.
It's just it's
So we
yeah.
started out majorly ragging on a certain fan base of people. Actually, no, I can't do that. Actually, I can because we're using this for Discord. Discord, a lot of their staff are furries. I found out,
Oh.
and yeah, if you post like anti-furry stuff in your Discord server, they shut your server down and say it was an accident
Ah,
because they can't restore it, even though they have said that every single message and like post you put in a Discord server is saved somewhere. It's like your profile's not deleted; it's just deactivated. They still have it. Yeah,
but
big time furry
it,
people. The
it's a
Discord team.
complete and total lie.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? They're furries.
Oh
Um, but Furtopia, the longest running MMO that
my
there is,
god.
for furries by furries.
Well, one of the things we were going to talk about is soundtracks,
Oh yeah,
because it was something you asked me
how does that loop into
today.
this? But all right.
Well, I was going to ask, right? So the question is what's the soundtrack like on it? Any ideas?
So what? I have no idea. I've not played it. I've just seen. I googled longest running MMO because someone was like, "It's World of Warcraft," and I was like, "I bet it's not World of Warcraft. I bet it's something else." And then we looked and we found out there was Furtopia. And we looked on Wikipedia and Google and all these other things, and it is Furtopia.
Yeah, but like,
Because I thought it was going to be Second Life or something like that, but it wasn't.
what was it? EverQuest was quite a big one.
EverQuest 2, was that it? There's Eve Online, which is huge, but the economy on that is like the drawing point, apparently.
Oh, I know.
There was it has, I think that between that and Second Life, Eve Online has the most real world money spent in it.
What?
Like you can buy spaceships because it's all about like corporations and things like that. Eve Online, if I remember right, and shipping goods across the galaxy, and then you can be a pirate and you can like take all this stuff or whatever. And there's guilds, and I think was it something like $800 was how much people what people were spending for like these massive warships or something like that. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah.
Jesus.
I'll have to double check it.
Do you know what? Right.
But
So this actually does kind of segue and go on to something that I sent to you, and that was about like
DLC.
Yes, DLC and loot boxes. You know, microtransactions. So obviously, when we used to buy a game like in the 80s and 90s and before,
I don't think I ever bought a game in the 80s. I was 4 years old. I was probably 3.5 years old when the 80s ended.
You would have bought a game from that era, possibly.
I mean, when did Sonic come out? 91. No.
No, it's got to be something that you would have bought from.
I have probably played games from the 80s. I just wouldn't know. I mean,
my first console that I had was a Spectrum, which was on that was on tapes, right? So I got it from
my dad.
I got it from a car boot, and then it was the Commodore 64.
Yeah, so my dad bought a Commodore 64 when I was quite young. I remember that.
Yeah, and that was like that.
Like Paperboy, Commando.
There were some really good games on it. It was weird when it loaded up because it was like your old dial-up, where it was like
it took like 5 minutes to load a game, and then like it just wouldn't load. Yeah.
Yeah, tape was wrecked.
Yeah, tape was wrecked. Yeah, have to wind it back in with a pencil. People don't understand what that even is these days.
What, a pencil? Yeah, you're probably right.
About a pencil and like a tape, and they're like, "What's tape? Or like sticky tape? What? Do they have to tape the disc into it? What are you on about?"
Or like when you had to give like a video back to the video shop, and you had to rewind it before you sent it back.
No, I never did that.
You never rewound it? You devil, you.
Yeah, I was a real piece of shit. I don't care.
We used to have a video man come round to the house. Yeah, we had.
Right.
Well, because we were in the middle of nowhere. We were obviously in the sticks, right? So there was a person that used to sort of come round, and he would just come round about a week later and pick it back up again.
Okay, bit weird, but all right, I guess. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it was like your first ever, like, I don't know, like, do you remember, what was it called? What was Netflix called before it was Netflix? Wasn't it like Love Film or something like that?
No, that was a separate thing.
I thought they were part of the same.
No, they were competitors.
Oh, were they?
But Love Film. Yeah, Netflix started off as like, lending DVDs online, hence Netflix. But yeah, it was Love Film. Did they change their name, Love Film?
That's what I thought that Love Film became Netflix. That's what I thought it was.
No, they were definitely competitors.
Or maybe they got bought out by them. Maybe I've thought about that wrong. Some research needs to be done on that one.
I remember it's something to do with Channel 4, wasn't it? Love Film.
Was it?
Oh, if I remember right, we got Love Film. We got like 4 DVDs free a month with our bank account back in the time. Never used them. I think I had like one film, and it might have been some like Fight Club, and we had it for about 3 months before we decided to return it.
That's a good film.
It's a great film, and it probably wasn't even that. It was probably something ridiculous, but we had it for months, and we never even watched it, and we sent it back.
I think I've actually still got a film that I rented from Choices, and I never. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've still got something I rented, and I never gave it back. Oh, hang on.
Bailiffs are going to be around.
And I think it was actually, I think it was this, which is Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
Great movie. I fucking love it.
It was a brilliant film.
I fucking love it.
It wasn't what I thought it was going to be at all.
No.
But it was still really good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Love it. Banger of a soundtrack as well, that last one.
Oh my god. And I've even got a bonus disc with it. Oh, Christ.
Loved it. Love that one.
One of my favorite soundtracks from games. I love some of the Assassin's Creed soundtracks, like from Brotherhood. I really like.
Oh yeah.
When you sort of like when you go around the cities, the soundtrack in the background is quite good. But one of the ones that kind of really sticks into my head, it's almost just like the loading screen from Halo. It was just, it was a hell of a build up to it. Yeah.
And then like the multiplayer like lobby had like some of the saddest like dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, yeah, it was just so like it's like, mate, I'm just trying to have a good time. I don't need this in my life right
I
now,
don't need an
man. Things are
existential
bad.
crisis right now.
Yeah, things are bad enough as it is. I come on here to have fun, not be like na 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 na. I'd be like, you know.
I mean,
I
like,
think Halo is probably one of the top soundtracks for me. Halo 1, 2, or 3, or
yeah.
even Reach. Yeah, like his Winter Contingency banger.
Mm.
The Warthog Run, I quite often listen to that at work.
Yeah.
Just 8 minutes long, just like. Dun, 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 dun.
I've seen that Halo is on the PC Game Pass.
It is, yeah,
Yeah,
it's on the Game Pass, yeah.
and well, I just upgraded to the Game Pass because obviously I've only just
Mm,
moved into my new office area, so I thought
your
I
new
might as
digs.
well make the most out of it by seeing if I can upgrade.
I thought
So
that's supposed to be a gym.
originally when I bought this shed, it was a gym,
Ah,
right?
oh, now it's
Uh,
been changed.
and then obviously the gym equipment and stuff, it wasn't really getting used. I don't know if you know this, but when you want to do actual exercise, when you pay for a gym membership, you're more likely to go. When it's at home, you don't really use it.
You see, I have a weight in there.
It's not the same
And I
one
think it's
from when you lived at home, is it?
no, I got this one from a neighbor. And I think it's 10K, I don't remember. But now and again I'll pick it up and I'll be like, yeah, that's enough. And I'll put it down. But then when I go to the gym, I actually work really hard at it.
And that's what I mean. Like I had like loads of equipment and stuff in here, which I've got to move some of it back in because I haven't sold it yet. I am still trying to sell it, but I'll have to move some of it back in here. But I won't be using it. I go to the gym 3 times a week. Not a lot, but you know it's all I can get done at the moment.
Yeah.
But you know I find that when you got to pay for a gym membership, you're more likely to sort of go. Obviously, it all depends on the mindset. Mindset is a big thing, and
Yeah.
definitely the right soundtrack in the background would definitely help. I do find that I'm not keen on the music in my gym though.
No, it's all like, I mean, for lack of a better word, shit.
It's just not very motivational. It's not very. It's there's nothing that really gets me sort of like moving, and it depends on who's on shift as well. Because some people when they're there, I don't know. It just doesn't. It's like either like something to their taste, not to mine. And it just kind of it makes me want to wear headphones when I'm in there, which I hate doing.
I mean, I wear headphones when I'm in there.
Yeah, but I don't like doing that. I used to love going to the gym and just like chatting to like random people. It's one of the things that like got me my confidence after I left school because I fucking hated school.
Fair enough. Well, it was a shithole.
It was an absolute shithole.
I have to do deliveries to it, and I was just looking at it, I'm like, ugh.
I saw you 3 times the other day.
I know. I thought it was 4. Yeah, I saw you. First saw you on the roundabout, and I didn't clock it was you till you'd already like half.
Yeah, we were
and I
like
was
staring at each other, going, "What?"
What?
And then the next time was
then I
like almost on the same sort of like stretch of road, just going the opposite way.
Yeah, and I waved to you then.
Yeah,
And then you were parked up.
and you beeped at me as you were going over the bridge.
I did, yes.
Because I saw it and I was like, "Oh fuck!" Because I was literally just messaging the people saying outside at the same time. I was like, "Oh fuck!" Because that road often has beeps on it because it's a fucking horrible crossroads.
It is not nice.
Not nice at all. But yeah, what are you doing with that paintbrush anyway?
I mean, you were waving like a pencil. So I picked this up to do it, and then I was like, hang on, my mustache is a bit.
I'll just draw some.
There we go. And then just put myself in the eye.
I'll get my eyebrows drawn on. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. I got those out. I think I've leveled those out. Yeah. Nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Add extra.
So microtransactions is the death of video games. Absolutely, 100%. I firmly believe that.
I will say that the one thing I will say is almost a good thing about microtransactions. So microtransactions, they are horrible and they've killed a lot of games. But there are some things that do make it really good. For example, there are some games where, say like, you know, you don't have as much time as what you used to, and you want to get some of the best gear. Sometimes just paying a little bit of money, and you can then
to win.
almost like pay to win, just so you can
I
get through
hate
the
pay to
story.
win.
But
I
like,
hate pay to win,
but what I mean is
especially in
like,
multiplayer games.
no, what I mean is like on a story game where like I don't like the price of it. That's my biggest issue. So
Right.
like when they sort of sell gear for like 50 quid and you're like, what the fuck is this? It's cosmetic. It's nothing to it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just like if they had it for like, I don't know, like 20p, you know, just to sort of like have that, it'd be great. It'd be fine. I wouldn't mind sort of like doing that on the odd thing here and there. And I think that's probably where it initially started, where they thought, oh, we can sort of make a little bit of money.
Mhm.
But then they just went a little bit overboard with it. But the problem is once it started and people started paying for it, they realized, oh, we can get away with this. We can do this. And it's like, okay, that's ruined that whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, in-game purchase. I mean, it started. Was it with Oblivion? I
Yes,
think
it was for a
yes.
horse cosmetic.
Horse armor. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you know what? I don't mind some microtransactions if it's just things like cosmetics.
Have you
If
ever
it's
paid
cosmetic
for
skins,
anything? Have you ever paid for anything like that?
I've bought loot boxes before, and I regret it now. But I bought some when I was playing the first Overwatch when I was super into that. I have bought COD points for Warzone for the Battle Pass, and then I bought a few to get like a gun skin that I liked. And I'm gonna regret doing that, but some of them were very much pay to win with things, and I never did the pay to win ones because I couldn't afford the bucks for it. So yeah, I hate microtransactions now because of things like that. I think if it's just a skin, I mean, again with loot mechanics come into it. So if you're buying loot boxes with your microtransactions, you're no guarantee that you're going to get something that you haven't already got, because then you just wasted money, like even more so than microtransactions actually are. If you're going to have rare skins and a selection of skins, give it to me in a shop so I can decide if I want to buy it or not. You know, take the loot mechanic out of it where it's like random. Just give me the storefront with all of the items there that I can decide if I want to buy it or not. Never mind me paying like £2 for a spin of the wheel and possibly getting some I will never use on a different character. You know, I don't play Junkrat. I don't care if I get his super rare skin. I'm still not going to play as Junkrat.
Yeah.
You know?
I understood the benefits to a certain degree with all this stuff, with the microtransactions, paying for DLC and all this sort of stuff. I feel like it's gone too far, but at the same time, I understand where it came from. But it's just
I mean, the only people it benefits are the people that make the money off of it, because there was video game makers, developers who say they've been forced into putting these storefronts on for microtransactions, which they had never intended to do for their game, but their publishers have said, we won't publish the game unless you do this. You know, and it's just like it's written into contracts now as well. X amount of microtransactions and stuff available. There's one game that sort of does it okay at the minute, and that is Helldivers 2. So you can find the currency, which is called super credits. You can find those in missions.
Oh, sweet.
So you don't actually have to. It's rare, and you only find like 10 or 20 at a time. And to unlock like a skin, I think is 125. But if you play it all the time, then and you're like, you know, and if you're spending money on games, you're probably playing it a lot. If you are playing it all the time, the odds of you finding these super credits in maps is not, you know, unlikely. You'll definitely find some, and the more you play, the more you'll find, and the more you'll, you know, unlock the skins you want in the store.
I think the only
and
time
so
I
Helldivers. Go on, sorry.
Go on. Go on. You finish.
All right, so Helldivers is the only one in my mind that's actually doing a good job with it at the minute, and there's not even that much in the store to buy. It's like when they release a new mini battle pass that you use them then.
So the only experience I've had with something similar where it's actually not been too bad was for Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Okay.
And it was basically the when you pay for the monthly subscription, you get like credit anyway. You can top up with more if you want to, or you can just kind of wait for your credit to build up, and then you can just buy whatever's unique at the time. You can get like different like cruises and things like this. Because it is like an MMO RPG. It's
Mhm.
you can do it free to play, and you can play for it for free throughout all the story stuff and everything else. But it felt like if you did pay for a subscription, you weren't just paying for the subscription. You could also get like decent stuff out of it. Once a month. You could actually get your money was actually going somewhere.
Mm.
So you didn't mind sort of like paying this. That's just one benefit I did sort of find from that. With MMORPGs, I feel like it works better with those than it does with like normal games. I feel like there are some games where, for example, Spider-Man. I think we spoke about this before. Spider-Man is a brilliant game, and then they had Miles Morales, which I don't feel like it was a game. I feel like it was DLC. They just sold it as a game to get more money from it, because all the DLC that they did for Spider-Man, they did everything for it, and they did all the Catwoman sort of story for it and everything else. But they sold Miles Morales as DLC when it could have just been part and parcel of it. I don't feel like it was a big chunk of a game on its own. But they haven't made the same mistake with the next one. Obviously, Spider-Man 2. They haven't done like
played it.
It's really good. It
I
really
know
is
it is.
good.
I just
But
I'm not gonna get it for a long time if I do get it. I'm not gonna get a PS5. I don't think.
no, I mean, uh, if I was to choose between a PS5 and an Xbox, I would choose a PS5 every single time. That for me, more games that I enjoy are on the PS5. Xbox has kind of, I don't know, I feel like they're going for more like a streaming service than they are actually anything else.
That's
Um,
what I kind of feel about the PS5. But then I
oh.
kind of feel like this console generation has been a real letdown. Like nothing's pushed the envelope forward. The only thing is, oh, it loads faster. Oh, its graphic capability is much better. It's like, yeah, okay, but what about anything else?
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
some of them are sort of like going, we can improve, we can make this look amazing. The funniest one is like, I think when they compared the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, and you couldn't even see the fucking difference.
nah, and
And
you
it was
still got
just
to pay
like,
200 quid for a disc drive.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then like, so PS5, the only good thing I found about the PS5 is that the games that they had on it, which you couldn't get on Xbox, they were games that I liked. God of War, Spider Man, and all Final Fantasy 7.
Last of Us.
Yeah, Last of Us. Yeah, good game. All these games, but eventually they are coming out on PC and obviously on Steam and things like that. So if you've got like a decent PC, you will eventually get those games anyway. But if you've only got like access to an Xbox, I just feel like if you like those kind of games, if you like those games, you're not going to be able to play them. Whereas Xbox, they are now starting to sort of move some of their games onto PlayStation. For example, Forza Horizon, which not the best one of the Forzas. I preferred some of the older sort of Forzas myself. But they're moving it onto PS5, which they're for an old game, they're advertising it at like full price as if it's
Oh,
brand
no, it's
new, and it's
ridiculous.
like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me?
There's only
So,
one company that can get away with that, and that's Nintendo.
uh,
You want to buy
which
Super Mario Odyssey, which is like 11 years old, you still got to pay 50 quid.
it see, this is the thing, right? Is I think Nintendo are probably one of the smartest out of all of them, because Nintendo have not really upgraded the Switch until recently, which is the worst kept secret in the world.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
it's been announced now, so
oh yeah, finally been announced and everything, but like, so like the games that they've got, they have not made them available anywhere else, and people
no.
will pay for those games, even if it's on not the best console. And
Yeah.
so like you can have like Zelda's the Zelda games are great. They are brilliant games. And people will pay.
There are some duds.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about like Zelda, I still think of original like Zelda, which had like really good soundtracks. Some of the original Zeldas, Ocarina of Time, A Majora's
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
I never liked Majora's Mask. I don't know. There was something about it. I just didn't vibe with it. Maybe that was my autism. I was like, but he's not supposed to work there. He's supposed to work at the Lon Lon Ranch. You know, things like that. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
I never played the latest one because I don't have a Switch. I think I've owned different Nintendos. I've got a 3DS somewhere up there, and I've got, I think the latest Pokemon game is Pokemon X.
Scarlet and Violet. Oh, the last one you got, yeah.
Yeah, that's the last one I've got is X, and I think all the rest of them are on, like, obviously the Switch, which I don't own. But for me, I think when I last played on the Switch, I just found it very underpowered, and it made me feel very underwhelmed about it.
Yeah, it really is.
But like, if you want to keep playing the Pokemon games, you've got to be on there. If you want to keep playing like Professor Layton, brilliant puzzle games, love them, fantastic. You've got to move on to the Switch. Mario, all that sort of stuff. They've got the market on it. They've thought about it smart, and they don't have to bring out a new console loads because they know, well, it doesn't matter. People
apparently, I think they've got like something. Nintendo have like 6 billion cash on hand. Which is not tied up in company assets. They've just got 6 billion. Like, oh well, we'll do this because we can afford to. Give it to Nintendo. They always try new things. I'll say that. Considering they started out making playing card in the 1800s, then that from going from that to now is amazing. But they always do try something different. Like the Switch is something different, and then they made the Labo to go with it. There was the Wii, which is all motion controls. The GameCube had like was it like 3D game capabilities built into it, and then just the world wasn't ready for it,
and also
like
you had the expansion that you could put on the base of the cube.
Which even the NES had that. Apparently, the NES had something like that as well. And then there was a way that you could play Doom 2 multiplayer online on the SNES somehow.
Oh right! Wow.
Yeah. I think it was on the SNES. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there was a way to do it. I don't remember what it was because I am not that technical. But it was explained to me in videos online and stuff when I looked it up, and I was like, nah, that's not true. I was like, fuck's sake, no way.
Oh my god.
And then it turned out it's true. And I was like, okay, fuck's sake, no way. So yeah. What else is on the list of things?
Well, leading on to the Pokemon thing, right? So, if I had a gym, right?
Yeah.
A Pokemon gym, this is exactly what I would do. I would
fighting
make it.
Type.
It would be a gym. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it would be. It'd be a gym. But the battles wouldn't be Pokemon battles.
Oh, is this some Orange Islands bullshit where it's like test of strength and endurance?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I fucking knew it would be.
Yeah. So, I would have my lineup based on what, exercise I would have them sort of like do. You've got like, you got Machamp, who would be sort of like doing the chest press. You got Snorlax. He'll be doing some deadlifts.
Snorlax isn't a fighting type.
He's not a fighting type, but I'm thinking of strong Pokemon. I'm not thinking of it as a gym.
Fair enough.
It's a gym. So like,
fair enough.
Snorlax is like me at the gym. I can squat a lot.
Absolute boost.
Yeah, hyper beam those motherfuckers.
So Brock doesn't open his eyes.
Oh my god. And then obviously, so I think I don't know enough about any of the new Pokemon to really suggest any like newer ones. So for me, it would just be like the classics.
They're like Sork and Boulder. They were like they had like karate gis on and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So they were like that. So yeah, like one looked like jujitsu and one looked more karate.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because that's basically kind of going with like Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee.
Mm-hmm.
That was obviously an homage to like
boxing, kickboxing, and you got that weird capoeira Hitmontop.
Yeah, Hitmontop. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Hitmontop was Generation 3.
2 or 3, when I can't remember. And then in like Generation 7 for Sun and Moon, you had like Incineroar, the big cat, who's like in the anime. I'm not sure in the game, but in the anime, because my son loved this series. In the anime, the Pokemon professor was secretly like a luchador wrestler, with like a big luchador mask on, and then like the mask. What's it called? It wasn't. I can't remember his name, but his thing was him and his Nintendo would just go enjoy like that, and it's like the worst games. You're like in Medabots, where like the masked Meta fighter was his boss that worked
Oh
at the
my
shop.
god.
Was it Harry or something like that? And like you could easily work it out that he was the Meta fighter, but no one ever seemed to work it out. It's that sort of situation. Whereas like, oh yeah, how did you get that bump on your forehead? It's like, oh, I was just shaving my eyebrows. And they're like, okay, that's a bit weird. I was like, it's weird that's the exact same place the masked Meta fighter got hit yesterday, but all right.
Metabots was a brilliant show.
Metabots. Yeah, love that show.
They had like they had quite a few games.
They did, yeah. There's loads on the DS and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I started watching Solo Leveling.
Oh yeah.
I got to like episode 7 or something today.
And did you like it?
It's not the worst, but I have seen things of the same ilk that are better,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough.
I've seen. I know it's not exactly the same sort of thing, but like Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash, that's a really good one. That's an isekai one where they end up in this other world and they have to have a guild and they have to go kill goblins to make money and survive.
Yeah.
There's that one. There's Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Chicks in a Dungeon? Again, they're in a fantasy world and there's a dungeon that just appeared under this town and it's full of monsters and stuff like that. That's really good. And that came before people were like, oh, that sounds like Delicious in Dungeon. Yeah, but this came out years before Delicious in Dungeon or Dungeon Mention or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Chicks in a Dungeon? Not as pervy as it sounds. Sort of the exact same thing where this kid, he is like a very low rated fighter or something like that. And then he's like his goddess like levels him up and he has this ability where he can just level up like really, really quickly and gains all this power really fast. And it has no upper limit. So that's the sort of thing is that, and he ends up making like a party of like a team to go with him and stuff. Which I could see that happening. Like they're gonna start making a guild, I reckon, in this Solo Leveling. But it's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, so like I read Solo Leveling about 3 years ago. It's taken a while for it to get an adaptation on to be an anime. And obviously it's just started getting like more of a following behind it. Although someone did make a really interesting comparison that I saw the other day, and I never thought about it, and then I've realized, okay, they've kind of copied it a little bit. But Solo Leveling is pretty much exactly the same as Hunter x Hunter.
Apparently, with anime like that, you're not supposed to say the X. It's just Hunter x Hunter, then Spy Family. Apparently, this is something I saw on TikTok, and I'm like, well, why would they fucking put it there then?
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah, apparently it's just, oh, it's not actually Hunter x Hunter or Spy x Family. It's just Spy Family and Hunter x Hunter. It's like, why the fuck would they put the X in the title then? Why?
Did they explain that part? Why they put the X in the title?
No, and I was just like, well, that's fucking ridiculous. And I swiped away.
Is that someone's opinion or is it an actual thing?
It's just their opinion. I don't think it's real, but okay, we'll see.
I mean, well, you're not one for like long animes and stuff, so it's a good thing
Not
that you've
really.
like given this one a go. Whether or not you finish it, who knows?
I mean, I finished the 4 seasons of Yellowstone that are on Netflix, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch something else now because this is like today, because I had a day off from work. So I put on like Law and Order SVU, and then I saw how long that was, and I was like, well, I can get back out. And I was like, well, I was told to watch Solo Leveling, so I'll put that on and see because I need a break from Gundam as well.
Oh yeah, how's Gundam going? You've been doing
I
that
mean,
for a while.
I finished the first season, but it was a fucking slog, I'll tell you that.
How's season 2 going?
I haven't started it yet.
Is it that bad that you just can't?
I need a break. I need a break from. Oh God!
I was thinking about this today, right? You've probably had this yourself, right? You play a game for ages and ages and ages, and then all of a sudden you just kind of go, I need something different. And
Yeah.
you have what I like to call a palate cleanser game. Something that kind of like almost gives you a bit of a reset. You don't have to think about it much. It might be a game that you've played over and over and over. What is your palate cleanser game?
I don't think I have a palette cleanser game. One that specifically I just play to clear everything out. I
Is
don't think I have that. I think I just start playing something new. Like
oh,
I just installed Frostpunk 2 about an hour and a half ago. So I'll give that a go. Yeah, I don't have a palette cleanser that I go to like, oh, this will clear my palette. I love playing Stardew Valley and I put mods on that just to keep it fresh,
maybe
you know.
that's your palate cleanser game.
No, it's not a palette cleanser because I go for hours and hours on that. Like I think I've got like probably one I reckon probably 1,500 hours in Stardew Valley.
I think the
This doesn't
most
once you put
amount of hours I've
mods on it,
yeah, but you put the mods on it.
once you put the mods on it, it stops counting the hours that you play for.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember you
So
saying.
yeah,
Uh,
what the most hours you put in?
well, I was gonna say, I think the game that I've probably got quite a lot of hours in on Steam, close to 1,000 hours, is probably Destiny 2, and that was during
Mm.
lockdown. Um,
Ah,
it was nowhere to go, nothing to do, so, and I rinsed that game so much. I think before you sort of like had like, uh, hours that you could clock on a game. Um, I would obviously the Final Fantasies would be my highest hours on any games, any of those, any Final Fantasy would be. Also,
if you just
the soundtracks on all Final Fantasies are bloody brilliant.
absolute bangers, yeah, man. Nobuo Uematsu. As soon as he's left, like I mean, he left when what's his name? Masahiro was that?
Yeah,
Was
because
he
it
the guy who tried to
was
square? Yeah,
because they created a new
Masahiro. Yeah, but
team
Miss
somewhere
Mist Walker.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mist
that's
Walker
it.
Studio.
Yeah,
Because of the Final Fantasy Spirits Within that happened. Because
really?
it bombed, because they put so much money into it and it bombed in the cinemas, it lost the company so much money.
Shit!
That's why they had to sell to Enix. And then he's like, I take full responsibility, and then left. Like he
Wow.
handed his resignation and left. And then some of the team went with him. And then he made Miss Walker Studios. Yeah. And that's why Square Enix exists. It's not Squaresoft. Fucking hate Square Enix. Love Squaresoft. Hate Square Enix. Enix can suck my ball bag.
So that film is the reason,
Yeah.
but it wasn't that bad of a film.
No, it wasn't. No, but there are certain films that don't deserve to bomb, but they do, and that's one of them. But
Yeah.
if you look at that compared to any of the Final Fantasy games, it doesn't really relate to them, does it? I mean, there's a character called Sid in it. You know, there's no summons.
I think the
It's very
closest,
much a weird sci-fi, a
uh,
hard fiction sci-fi.
the closest game that would come to the same sort of thing as Spirits Within would be
8,
Final Fantasy X.
10? I'd say more 8.
No, because when you think about it, like it's like because you find out
Oh, the
about
spirits, the
the
ghosts. Yeah,
spirits and
yeah.
everything else. So I'd say that it's probably closest to that one. I get why you're saying 8 though.
Because of the tech and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So I can sort of see like certain parts are put into it, but I get what you mean. It's not a Final Fantasy thing. It's a very futuristic sci-fi type sort of yeah. So I suppose everyone was expecting something, and because it didn't have that, maybe that's the reason why it didn't hit so well for it.
I've always thought if it was marketed as just the Spirits Within and not as a Final Fantasy film, it probably would have made more money.
Yeah.
Because at the time, it had like the most lifelike graphics there are.
Yeah, that was it was ridiculously realistic.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah. So yeah, I think if it wasn't marketed as a Final Fantasy film, if it was just called The Spirits Within, I think it would have made way more money. But yeah, that's what happened. So
Oh, Christ.
which sucks because I really like it, but I can see how people wouldn't.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I can see why some people might not like it, but I disagree to sort of like that it should have been hated as much as what it was. There are worse
Shouldn't have been.
films that came out.
Alien Covenant, Alien Resurrection, Alien versus Predator 1 and 2. Yeah.
Wait, there was a Alien versus Predator 2?
Yeah, Alien vs Predator. I think it was called Requiem.
Oh my god,
And
I didn't know that.
it's takes place immediately, like immediately after AVP one.
Oh wow.
It takes place. And yeah, it's a lot more like AVP one was like a 12, and then AVP two is an 18. Like it takes it up a level immediately.
Yeah, because at the end of
Um,
AVP, you had the birth of a Predator alien.
yeah, the Pred alien, and then at the start of AVP two, that ship crashes back on Earth
Oh.
in America, somewhere in like the Midwest of America, and the Pred alien gets loose, and so do a load of face huggers.
Yeah, makes sense.
So and they start terrorizing this like small town in like I don't know fucking Minnesota or something. I'm not American, I don't know, but yeah, this like New England like town gets like assaulted by aliens and stuff like that. I don't think is there any predators in there? I can't even remember if there are predators in there. Yeah, there must be. Yeah, yes, there is. Yeah,
Well, I mean, I haven't got a clue. I only just found out that it existed.
yeah. It's
But
not bad, but it's not like it's way better than the first AVP, but it's like it's still a bit shit.
uh,
Maybe it'll be different if I go back and watch it now. Maybe less harsh on it. But
yeah, I
I don't know.
suppose you're probably the best one to sort of judge it because you are quite a fan of the Alien franchise.
And the
So
Predator one, but mainly the Alien one, yeah.
yeah, so I suppose you know, because you've got such an opinion of it. This is what I find about some films nowadays. That when you're a bigger fan, sometimes you can be too much of a critic on it. There are some films that I feel like they were better than what people think because it so like what's a good example of this? Uh, a lot of like Marvel films nowadays get like the harshest critique on it of obviously, what was it? Oh, what's one of the most recent Marvel films that's come out?
Don't even know. Miss Marvel, the Marvels. Fucking, I don't even know. I haven't watched a Marvel film for a long time,
No,
and I've got no inclination.
anything that came out after Endgame, um, everyone is just like hating on it so much.
Yeah,
Because they just keep comparing it and just sort of saying, "Oh, it's not as good as this." It's like it's its own thing. It's
if
got to stop. If you go back and watch some of the first like Marvel stuff, it doesn't. They're not fantastic. They are good, but they're not fantastic. And obviously they're trying to build up to that again, and they've got to
I
start with a
think
whole new cast and stuff.
yeah, I think some people make Marvel films the MCU their whole personality,
Yeah,
it's their only interest, and it's like, man, there are other movies out there. Go watch Seven, not like seven other films. Go watch seven other films, but go watch the movie Seven, you know,
it's a
and then
classic.
then go watch like Moon, which is really good. Um, just go watch like other movies that aren't MCU films. Stop buying statues of Iron Man and just stop making podcasts about the MCU. That's all I got to
I
say.
mean, I feel like so like. There we go. So what I've got here is Essential Daredevil, right?
Love it.
So
Oh, the new Daredevil show started as well now.
yeah, well, I haven't started watching any of that, but
No,
like, so
wait.
I've been a fan of obviously Daredevil for quite some time to have so like have this. It's so much in fact that it's actually the book is slightly broken. I've read it so many times.
Oh.
Um, but I'm a huge fan of obviously Marvel and everything else, and I've got a number of different comics down here for it. But
I'm not saying the Marvel shit. I'm just saying there are other movies out there.
no, but that's what I mean.
Get away from the MCU. Yeah.
Is that I think exactly as you say, some people just like only watch Marvel stuff and then they feel like, oh, this just feels like this. It's like, watch something else. Go and sort of like see other things that are in the cinema. There are
It's the
other sort of
same
films to sort
people.
of watch.
Yeah, it's the same people that'll watch like the games show reveals and say this game should have been GTA 6. GTA 6 when? When do we get GTA 6? I want GTA 6. It's like go and do other things, man. Go and get different gaming experiences. If you've only played fucking GTA 6, Call of Duty, and Fortnite, just go try something different. Get on Game Pass. There's like 300 games on there. Just anything, literally. I'm begging you, go click and play anything else. Go play Inscription. That'll fuck you up. Honestly, you were like, "What? This is a thing? Oh my god, where's the loot mechanics?" He's hacking, boys. He's hacking. He's like, "How is he hacking? It's a card playing game." It's fucking weird. It's so weird. It's very meta, the whole thing. Yeah. If you've not played that, actually, you should go play Inscription. It's only takes like I think less than 8 hours to finish it. Depends how good you are at card games. But really good game. Really good game, Inscription.
I mean, I'm not bad at card games. There's
Yeah, I think you should go try that. It's on Game Pass. Go try playing it Inscription.
Inscription. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was looking for something to download on Game Pass because the kids made me download a game, and I'm not really that fussed about playing that one.
Is it Bluey?
It's Bluey. It is. It's fucking
Yeah.
Bluey. So they wanted me to download that because it's on Game Pass, and I got it installed, ready to go. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a live stream of me doing that and just playing on Bluey. Because why the fuck not? I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love the show. I really do. I am one of those. I am one of those fans of it. I think it's brilliant.
Bluey dad.
I am a Bluey dad. But like, you know, I'm not going to sort of say to you that you need to watch it. It's the best thing in the world. It's like it, you know, it's same as anything else. You know, it's good for a kids thing. It's good.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to watch an episode or two and I just didn't get it, but maybe it just didn't click for me.
Depends on which episodes you watched.
Oh, there you go. I don't even remember. Couldn't tell you. So I was like, "Hey, Bandit," and I'm like, "I don't fucking care enough about this."
I think there are certain episodes, if you watch them, there'll be certain things that happen in the episode that you kind of click with. When that happens, you understand the show better. So there was an episode that I watched. It was one of the first ones that I watched, and I watched it, and that was it. It clicked with me, and then ever since then, I've you know it's one of those. So that's sometimes what you got to do. But I feel like you shouldn't have to like watch it because somebody's told you to.
No.
However, saying that, right? I know that you don't want to watch One Piece. However,
I'm not gonna watch it.
However,
not gonna
right?
not gonna happen.
However,
I'm not gonna watch it one DVD at a time. I'm just not gonna watch it.
However, right? So what they're doing is they're making the One Piece, right?
The One Piece, like the One Ring.
No, it's basically One Piece, but it's streamlined, so it's got better pacing, and it goes through the story a lot cleaner than what the original one does. And it's going to be really good. Okay.
Is it like, I know the process behind this, like we've stopped making One Piece or something like that, and I'm like, how do we continue making money? Let's make more One Piece. How do we do it different? Let's cut things out that we did because the manga artist hadn't written or drawn it yet, and we had to put this bullshit in the show. So let's just do it again, but take all that shit out.
I think I seen
and follow the manga
that
exactly.
After 8 years or something like that, which I found was just ridiculous anyway. After 8 years, the English dub has caught up with the sub.
And this is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. It took
nuts.
8 years.
It's taken them 8 years to catch up, and it's like, holy shit.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it is worth it to watch it if you give it a chance. But if you're not gonna if you're not gonna give that a chance, then I'll think of another one for you to watch, because you actually gave Solo Leveling a try, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch an anime if it's 26 episodes long. If it's 26 seasons, I can get the fucking bin.
I mean, Dragon Ball Daima is only like 12 episodes or something like that.
That's true. I just haven't got around to watching it. I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah,
Just keep forgetting about it.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
it's good. There are some episodes that you get really annoyed with, but you know, that's just how it works. I can't think of like anything off the top of my head that I could recommend to you right now, but I will come back around to that, and I'll think of something for it. What were the other talking points that we had?
I think we pretty much covered it. And there was VR, which is shit at the minute because the technology is just amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, not shit.
There are some really fun games on VR, but I think because the technology is still trying to catch up to what people's imagination is. I don't think you'll have anything. I think there are like the graphics on VR is up to like original Oblivion. It's like, you know, it's a bit, you know, but it still does the job. It's still pretty
Mm,
good, like.
yeah,
And there was only one other thing, all right, and this means that we'll have, for once, we'll have done everything on the list of stuff.
the indie games.
The indie games, right? Indie game companies, they make better games than some of the bigger companies nowadays.
They do,
And
because the bigger companies, they only care about dollar.
yeah, and also they're trying to sort of like they try and kick out a load of like loot box games, and they never really finish anything. So the indie games that kind of know what they actually want, you know, they know what
Yeah.
they just focus on that one thing, and they do it right, and they get it right.
Yeah, I mean, Stardew Valley's been out for almost 10 years, and that guy keeps bringing out updates and patches and bug fixes and all that lot. He's supposed to be making his next game, which he is doing, but he's just always bringing out new Stardew content and stuff like that. And it's like, I get it, man, and he made the whole thing by himself. I get it, you know, Stardew's Valley. I could play 1,500 hours on it, but you know, you've got, if you want to make more games, you've got to focus on making those other games. And like companies like EA and Activision and stuff, all they care about is dollar. So they'll keep rehashing the same bullshit series of games just to make more money, where they don't want to take a risk on something new. Like, you want to play a new game, it's got to be indie. You want something that's completely brand new and not been done, you've got to play indie games. You've got to.
Yeah, sometimes though, some of the indie companies, they don't have some of the money that they need to make the game and sort of like distribute it very well. So it kind of goes under the radar. Or like one of the bigger companies kind of drowning out with like, it's a new thing that's coming out, blah 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 blah, and they kind of scream over the top of it, and then it just kind of goes under.
I mean, there used to be like this whole subgenre in sport, like with snowboarding games, like SSX, steep slope sliders, cool borders.
Cool borders, yes.
Yeah, there was another one, like by the same people who make Trials, and I can't think what it's called. But they're not snowboarding games. You don't get those anymore. But I've been watching this one dude on TikTok, and it's one guy, and he's making a game where it's like a cozy snowboarding game where you're like a frog or something like that. I don't really remember. And you just waddle around. It's not like particularly great looking at all. It very much looks to be on the PS1 or the N64, and it's just them sliding down mountains. My snowboarding game, and I need a lift to get back up, so I made a lift. And then people were asking if they could play as a bear, so I made a bear character for you to do, and now you can throw a snowball. And it's just like, I just keep watching it because I love the updates that they're doing and stuff like that. And it's just a frog snowboarding on like one of those round snowboards.
Nice.
You know, and it's just like that's the type of shit I would play. You know,
do you know
I
what
would
though?
rather
That
play
actually sounds very similar to like how a game like Frogger started, which is just a frog trying to get from one side to the other side of a new motorway. That's all it is. It's very simple, very basic, but it's fun. It's got challenging different sort of parts to it. Great, fantastic. Sometimes simplicity. You're right there.
Yeah, I just heard of it.
Yes, no,
That's
maybe.
It's my heat kicking on.
Yeah, so like sometimes a simple game is all you need, which is probably why you like Stardew Valley so much, because it's just a simple concept. It's easy enough, and it's the same as like, it's probably one of the reasons why I used to love playing like Sim City. I used to love making just like a city, just building it up, slowly sort of building, and like same for like the original like Sims, where you could just kind of like, you know, just leave it sort of run a little bit. They could do their own thing, blah blah blah. I like some of the simple things. It's just nice. It's just simple.
Well, again, on Game Pass, there's other Sim City games on there, but there's a better one, which is City Skylines 2.
Ooh,
And you should play that. If you like, if you like city building games, you should play that. Ooh. You should definitely play that because it's really good. It gets to the point where you can see people and you can just follow them around on the street while they go to work, they're home. There's like a Twitter feed in the game, sort of, where people put their complaints or whatever about what's going on in the city, and you can literally go to that person's house and evict them if you don't like them. You can set the tax bar for certain areas and stuff like that. It's wild the stuff you can do.
That
It's
does
really
remind me
good fun.
of an older game where you used to be able to build individual flats, right? And you could just kind of like build each flat floor as a different thing. And the idea was you get more money so you could build another level, and you could just keep building. It was like a skyscraper game. And you could just kind of like look into each house to sort of see who was living there, if you needed to do anything to it. It was like a real sort of like, landlord type sort of like game. I can't remember what the hell it's called, but it's great fun just to sort of watch.
Mm.
Right.
Right, I'm gonna have to say good
I,
night.
I
On
was
this one
going to
'cause I'm
say
getting knackered.
it is time to close off. So if you want to do the outro, and then we'll go from there.
All right, it's a bit cross-eyed then.
A little bit.
Anyway, well, thank you for listening to or watching this this episode of Everyone Has a Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, where you can like, share, and subscribe, or comment your questions for us to like talk about for about 10 seconds and then forget about it. Let's be honest. I'm not going to lie to you, dear viewer. I would never do that. But we'll do the question, we'll talk about it, and then we'll go on to some sort of segue. Because we're messy bitches. But thank you for so thank you for watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify. If we're on Spotify, I can never remember. You always
Yes, we
tell me, and
are.
I'll
Yes,
yep,
yes, we
and I'll
are.
just
Yeah.
forget. Yeah, you can say that in 10 minutes. I'll have forgotten all about it.
Yep.
So thank you very much. So give us a comment or a like over there. I don't know if Spotify can do that. I don't use it. I'm a peasant. I'd rather listen to the same Alien Ant Farm album 3 times in a row on CD than install another app.
CD.
Yeah. So so thank you very much for watching / listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do all those things. And we'll see you in the next one, won't we?
Yes. Thank you,
Yes.
and goodbye.
Goodbye.